Hi friends, I hope everyone is doing well. Today it is time for some trivia. Okay, so I've got 10 questions for you. I will tell you where you can find them in the Bible, but then at the end of the video, I will give you the answers. So if you need to stop the video so that you can look up the answers yourself, go ahead and do that. And then at the end of the video, I will give you the answers. Are you ready? So we're going to do 5 questions from one story and 5 questions from another story, and both these stories are ones that we've talked about just in the recent just here recently. So are you ready? I'm gonna throw on my glasses, make sure that I don't have a lot of glare. I think that these work. So and let's get started. These first 5 questions will be from the story of the Good Samaritan that we just talked about just recently. And so the first question is, in Jesus' story about the Good Samaritan, where was the man going when he was attacked? So I'll say that again. In Jesus' story about the Good Samaritan, where was the man going when he was attacked? You will find that in the book of Luke, chapter 10, verse 30. Okay, Luke chapter 10, verse 30. That is number 1. Now, if you need to stop and pause the video to give you some more time before we move on, feel free to do that. And I'm going to move right on to number 2. Okay. Number 2, who did Jesus say did not stop to help the wounded man? Who did Jesus say did not stop to help the wounded man? And that will be found in Luke 10, 31 and 32. So Luke chapter 10, verse 31 and 32. Okay, number 3. What did the Good Samaritan pour on the wounds of the man who had been attacked? What did the Good Samaritan pour on the wounds of the man who had been attacked? You'll find that in Luke 10, verse 34. Luke 10, verse 34. Number 4. How much money did the Good Samaritan give to the innkeeper to care for the man? How much money did the Good Samaritan give to the innkeeper to care for the man? That is found in Luke 10:35. Luke 10:35. Okay? And number 5, Jesus told the story of the Good Samaritan to answer a question. What was the question? So Jesus told the story of the Good Samaritan to answer a question. What was the question? And you can find that in Luke chapter 10, 29, verse 29. Luke chapter 10, verse 29. Okay, so those are the first 5 questions on Good Samaritan. So the second 5, number 6 through 10, is going to be on Jesus feeds thousands. So feeds thousands. Jesus feeds 5,000. Okay. Okay, I'm back here. Jesus feeds 5,000. There we go. Number 6. Where did the feeding of the 5,000 take place? Where did the feeding of the 5,000 take place? That is found in Luke chapter 9, verse 10. Okay? All right, number 7. What time of day was it when Jesus finished teaching the crowd? What time of day was it when Jesus finished teaching the crowd? And that is found in Matthew chapter 14, verse 15. Okay? Number 8. Which disciple did the boy go up to with his food? Which disciple did the boy go up to with his food? And that is found in John chapter 6, verse 8. Number 9. What did Jesus use to feed the crowd? What did Jesus use to feed the crowd? And that is found in John chapter 6, verse 9. Okay, and the last one, number 10, how many baskets of leftovers were collected by the disciples? How many baskets of leftovers were collected by the disciples? And that's found in John chapter 6, verse 13. Now, I know that I didn't answer all of these questions while we went through our Bible, our stories. So some of it is going to be research on your own, but I gave you right where you can find it. So if you need some time, go ahead and pause this video right now and look those up for yourself. And then you can come back and we will start the answers, okay? So pause it now. And now we will move on to the answers. Okay, so number 1, in Jesus' story about the Good Samaritan, where was the man going when he was attacked? It's found in Luke 10, verse 30, and he was going to Jericho. The answer is Jericho. The man was headed to Jericho when he was attacked by bandits. And number 2, who did Jesus say did not stop and help the wounded man? Found in Luke 10, 31 and 32, it was a priest and it was a Levite. A priest and a Levite did not stop to help the man. Number 3, what did the Good Samaritan pour on the wounds of the man who had been attacked? The answer would be oil and wine. Oil and wine, and that is found in Luke chapter 10, verse 34. Number 4, how much money did the Good Samaritan give to the innkeeper to care for him? Found in Luke chapter 10, 35. The answer is 2 silver coins. He gave the innkeeper 2 silver coins. And then he also told the innkeeper that if his bill was to be more than that he would pay him when he came back the next time. So that's really good. Number 5. Jesus told the story of the Good Samaritan to answer a question. And what was the question? Found in Luke chapter 10, verse 29. The question is, who is my neighbor? Who is my neighbor? And we know that our neighbor doesn't necessarily have to live right next door to us or even sit right next to us, but it could be anybody we come across, anyone. They are our neighbors. We live among our neighbors and our friends. So that is the first 5. Let's move on to the second 5, number 6. Where did the feeding of the 5,000 take place? Well, it was by the Sea of Galilee, and that is found in Luke 9, verse 10. Luke 9, verse 10. What time of day was it when Jesus finished teaching the crowd? This is number 7. What time of day was it when Jesus finished teaching the crowd? Found in Matthew 14, verse 15. It was toward evening. It was getting dark, and it was time for them to eat and go on their way. So Jesus wanted to make sure that the crowd was fed before they left. Number 8. Which disciple did the boy go up to with his food? So the boy went to Andrew, and that is found in John chapter 6, verse 8. Number 9. What did Jesus use to feed the crowd? He used the 5 loaves of bread and the 2 fish from the boy. The boy gave him that gift, and Jesus made it enough to feed them all. And that is found in John chapter 6, verse 9. And the last one, how many baskets of leftovers were collected by the disciples? And the answer found in John 6:13. The answer is 12. 12 baskets of leftovers were collected by the disciples. How'd you do? I know you guys did great. So good job, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.